Greetings, lords and ladies. A quick little precursor. So this is a 24 minute long video. I'm going to go in after upload it and timestamp the different questions that are asked. There were a lot of questions on our first episode of Ask America Anything. There were just that many people. I don't know. Post comments if you think this is way too long. I mean, I know this is really long for a YouTube video. It'd probably be better as a podcast. It is what it is. I don't have as much time to edit now, so Rohan is ready for me to play with him. So this is what it is. Please post in the India Connection subreddit stuff you would like to see, reactions to, or responses to, or commentary on regarding America-India connections. You can downvote it if you think it's too long, or comment if you think it's too long, or whatever. I'll try to timestamp the questions throughout. Thank you for all of those of you who have asked questions. Greetings, lords and ladies. Welcome to another edition of Ask America Anything, because Melissa and I stand for all of America, apparently.
Namaskar. Yes. We have some chai, though.
We do have some chai. Cheers to chai.
Cheers to chai.
Yeah, that's very good.
Thank you. It's not... I can never make it the same in America as I can in India. It always tastes better in India. I can never, even though I have Indian ingredients, except, I don't know if it's the milk. I don't know. Yeah,
it's definitely American chai. It's not chai we'd get on the street, but hey, it's better than Starbucks chai.
Yes, Starbucks. Okay, there you go. Better. No one asked America this, but if you go to Starbucks, you can get a chai tea latte. Nah. It's nothing like chai, other than it has some of the same spices.
Right.
But it's not chai.
Hey, you're better than Starbucks, so I mean that's good. Abhi Allen 83 says, "Hey, you guys, check out nearest Indian grocery store for mangoes they import from India in summer. I'm sure you'll find an Indian store near you." So we do actually have an Asian market, apparently.
Yeah, it's new. I guess it's expanded, I should say. And so his cousin told us about it, and it's in Millville, which is not that far from us. It's kind of like a small little town outside of Panama City.
So Satya and I, we can't do it this week because it's Halloween. Our big holiday. Mm-hmm. So we were planning on a day after lessons going over there.
Oh, good.
So
the
we'll
sad
do that
thing
in
is we've missed mango season, so we'll have to wait a long time till we can actually see if they import the mangoes from India, but that would be amazing.
Again, if you know anybody in the panhandle of Florida, if you got any friends or relatives or friends of friends who might be in this area who could, give us some insight, we will start doing some hunting around. We can do some mini adventures.
Yeah, because there's an Indo-Pac store, grocery store here. So there's a couple different places that we just haven't checked out.
Right. So we do need to do that. And of course, if worst comes to worst, we could always go do a little road trip, maybe try Pensacola, which is to our west, or Tallahassee, which is to our east.
I mean, of course, Atlanta is the biggest hub near us where you can find anything and everything.
Lots of stuff in Atlanta, but it's it's kind of a drive, so we need to make more of
That's a whole day drive for us. So
one other thing I wanted to mention, again, we've got the India Connection subreddit. So if you have links, people are asking a lot for reaction videos and these kinds of things. We're still figuring out what we're going to do with that, but if there are things you would like us to see and maybe respond to in these kind of videos, maybe we'll comment on them or give a review or whatever, post them in the India Connection subreddit on Reddit. I put the link in the description. Nobody's posted anything there yet, but that can going to be a central place for us to meet. So check out the India Connection subreddit. Post the link this week. Anybody. Post a link. Anybody. Okay, Ajay Mishra says, a few questions to an American from an Indian living in America. Number one, what are some good options for vegetarian food in the U.S. apart from going to an Indian restaurant and eating Indian food, also not counting egg as veg?
Ooh, that's a tough one in America. I feel like vegan in America is tough unless you're living in a more
city.
Urbanized setting. Then a lot more people think that way, and so you're going to have a lot more options that you can find out and about that you're not making yourself.
Yeah, and it's hard to do it like on the cheap. That's one of the difficult things. Like a lot of the organic and vegan kind of stuff, you go to a place like Fresh Market or Lucky's.
We got a new one in town. Like for us, we have a Fresh Market that's only been in town for a few years. Lucky's Market just opened up. Like, we don't have many options in our part of the country.
Yeah, Anthony Bourdain once said that if there's any place that he could go vegetarian, not that he would, but if he could, it would be India. India is by far, worldwide, the best place for vegetarian food. I guess what's so great about Indian veg is that it feels substantial. Like you can eat an Indian vegetarian meal.
You know what? I have a vegetarian friend. She's not vegan, but that's okay because you're only talking about eggs, so you're probably okay with cheese. that is something I should source out to my friends. I'll ask my friend, and I'll get back to you on that one.
You're going to remember to do that?
I am. I'm going to talk to a legitimate source and get back to you.
Then get back to Ajay.
Yeah.
Okay, number 2, why is it so difficult to be friends with Americans? What should we not do to be normal friends? I think that's just a difficulty when you're in any new place. There, people have their own way of doing things. So culturally, it takes work on both sides, for people to kind of come across the cultural divide and get to understand each other. So, one way to do it is to get into local sports or local celebrations. Sports seem to be a big thing worldwide. Like when I first went to India, I got into cricket. That was one way I could connect. And then, when we went back, I found people with similar interests, the video game stuff and that kind of thing, film. And it depends on where you are in America, but football is just such a big deal here. American football. It's been awkward for us coming back because everybody's so into college football or pro football, and we're just kind of like we're just missing the boat, But that is one way to connect with people. And, you can, through that, you can end up, you can maybe get into some other interests that are maybe more your speed. But it is difficult, I think, anywhere.
And just keep trying. Like, that's the thing. Like, if you just keep trying to, invite someone over or invite them to go to coffee with you or something like that, and just, even if they say no or they put you off but just keep trying. Like, don't stop. Because even I find that for myself, kind of make friends now that we're back here. Like, just because someone says no or they cancel on you one time, like, don't let that stop you.
Right.
You just got to keep going. And I feel like it takes about a year. Now, and that's for me as an American coming back and making friends with other Americans. Right. It takes me about a year to actually find just a couple people that I'm like, okay, I really feel like I'm starting to make friends with this person. So, for me, who's not necessarily an outgoing person, and that's within my own culture. So for you, if you're not an outgoing person and you're in a different culture, that sounds depressing, but just keep going. Like, it's going to take you longer than a year probably, unless you find, that's the thing, like, unless you just find someone who's interested in being friends with other cultures. Right. I don't know. Some people are more open than others. And just because, oh gosh, this is a long answer, sorry. No. But yeah, just because, they might be interested, they might just be shy and uncertain. It
is difficult. You're going to run into some difficult people. Like the next question says, what are some stereotypes against Indians, if any, living in the U.S.? There are certain positive stereotypes that like Indians are smart. And then there are negative stereotypes that, in a place like where we are, I will hear people say stuff like, among the working class, who'll just kind of paint with this broad brush. If someone is a foreigner, they'll just call them Abu Dhabis, which is a terrible thing. Like, it's just basically like Middle East or East, like whatever. It's just, they're all the same. So, yeah, when you run into those kind of people, I don't know, nod and smile, I guess, is the best kind of thing. They're really not terrible people. They're just being jerks, in that moment.
So, like, their stereotype is that Indians are disrespectful and they just leave a mess after them.
Right. Or, don't tip or those kind of things. Anything that you would suggest to Indians living in the U.S. to improve or change? Kind of trying to do what we tried to do when we were in India, really find the things that you like, I guess. Start with the things that you like, because otherwise you are going to feel alienated. There are things that are off-putting about America and Americans for sure. I do like watching Top Gear. They'll kind of make fun of us a lot. And some of it you're just kind of like, you have to kind of nod funny. Yeah, brazen, annoying, loud, anti-intellectual, things that we kind of have a reputation for. But try to start, rather than with those things, start with the good stuff, I guess, is the best thing to do. So, America does have a strong music culture. We do have a strong film culture. There are options. There are things to get in. And, honestly, I'm kind of surprised coming back to Bay County, my hometown, not a very big area, not a lot of population. But our local library has a lot of events that are public, free. Music events, film clubs and stuff like that. So, if you can go to one of these community kind of forums, I'm trying to like meet up or something like that, where you can maybe meet up people with similar interests.
Right. Just pretty much, usually nowadays everything has a Facebook page. So just find the Facebook page for your local, whatever, library or whatever. And
very good questions. Yeah. I hope something there is a bit of a help. Rishabh asked, how's Uncle? So he's He's doing pretty well. I mean, I think he's in pretty good spirits. We're hanging out daily and spend some time together. Once a week, we try to get out, at least once a week, get him out into nature, breathe fresh air. And my son comes along with us, and we do these little things where we try to find little animals or bugs or something just to kind of get my son away from a video screen or TV screen and get my dad out of the house. And so that's been pretty good.
So I feel he's just kind of like, the same. Just traveling along.
And then Rishabh also says, good to see you back. Sorry to disappoint you guys as a subscriber.
Oh, you're always watching and saying nice things.
Yeah, you're not disappointing us. Thank you for being
You are
supportive.
not the disappointing subscriber.
There have been many requests. So here we go. Karthik Mahajan says, okay, so majority of your subscribers want cross-cultural videos. I get a vibe you guys want to make cross-cultural videos. What's stopping you? Keep your stubborn artistic ego aside and give it a try for 2 months to make reaction videos. Reel in the views and subscribers. You guys would be the best suited for the foreigner reaction shtick. Now, but
this is my reaction to reaction videos.
I think it is good advice.
On the emoticonometer, it's throwing up emoji.
I think it's a good economic advice. We could make actual money probably doing reaction videos. We tried it for a while in India. It's just not our thing. Quite frankly, reaction videos are a violation of YouTube terms of service. I don't know how they still get away with it. You're not supposed to ever repost the entirety of a video. And most of these reaction videos, like we got reprimanded because we were breaking the rules of reaction videos and actually talking over the video. It's like, well, just go watch the other video. Like, why do you need to see us watching it?
And the thing is, reaction videos aren't necessarily that cross-cultural, other than I'm from one culture, I'm watching something from a different culture. Typically, they don't really actually interact cross-culturally any
right. So we would like to and we're going to ask the audience how we could do this, but we kind of have in mind something like what H3 production does with reaction videos. They've turned it into comedy videos in which they don't repost the whole video. They'll take little certain segments, comment on it, make skits out of it, make comedy routines out of it, and they're basically reacting to things that are negative. We'd like to react to things that are positive, maybe shed some cross-cultural light on it. We don't really know where to start, but we do want it to be creative.
I mean, so Ford does have a few, he's pitched a few reaction ideas to me, and I told him I would keep an open mind and that I would try a couple different ways of doing reaction videos. So we're going to possibly experiment with that.
But, give us stuff to react to. I just... Here's the thing. We're a little burnt out on Bollywood. We made a whole episode about Bollywood films.
We've shown Bollywood lots of love.
30 movies about Delhi, and we made a whole video about that American Indian episode. I don't know. Bollywood is in a rut. They've been in a rut for a good 15, 20 years now. And there are exceptions to that. We actually did, towards the end there, people started even getting us some videos and recommending us some films, rather. So we do have some of those. We are going to start watching those. We might do might have our reaction of the whole film and then just cut together, something small, like a 4-minute reaction to the entire film with a little review or something like that. That's a way we could possibly do it. But yeah, we want to make it creative. I'm sorry, that part is just not going to be ignored on this channel. Jabby does the reaction videos, and we're just not going to do them better in terms of the way that reaction. I mean, genre is already defined.
If you want that kind of reaction, then just go watch Jabby.
He's doing fine with it, and I think he wants what's best for India, in his way, and he's a nice guy. He likes India, so more power to him. But
we're just too creative. We're just too creative. We want to create
came out
something.
Sounded really snobby.
Jabby, I know you're creative. I'm sure you are.
Yeah.
But what I mean is, we are in the action part of creative. We want to create something to put out into the world that gives value to the world. So we're outputters, not just taker-inners.
Right, and we just don't want to get it stuck into a rut where, this starts making money and makes us successful, but then we have to do that forever. It's just not our speed.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We have to be okay with it in our hearts for us to stay at it. We are too honest, on the nose, what you see is what you get kind of people.
Right.
So we're going to have to do something that we stand behind.
And I guarantee you that many people would just not like our reactions because they'd either be like, it would just be like us raising our eyebrows. Like, okay, this is the 100,000th triple roll that I've seen in the last 5 years. Like, you know, how many doppelganger movie double rolls can we get? Wow, this reminds me of blank. Like, I mean, you really want somebody sitting there just being like, yeah, it's just going to, I don't know. That seems like it'd be boring.
There you go.
Someone else said, let's see. Oh, this is a pretty good question.
I'm like,
here.
whoa, reading that like, hello, Hemanth.
So Hemanth Pundit says, what's your American and Indian nostalgia fodder? What do you miss about India winning in America? And what do you miss about America winning India? Do you feel you're defined by your foreign connection in both countries? Ooh, that last question. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we've had a hard time fitting back in over here because like the best way I can describe it, I got to go surfing about 3 weeks ago. Best day of surf I've had in a long time. I was walking down the beach to go get in the water, and I felt like an avatar. I felt like I wasn't there. Like my feet are on the sand, but my head's not there. My heart's not there, even in surfing. And so I felt like that a lot. Like I'm just kind of floating above the ground. I'm here, but my head's just somewhere else. So it has been really weird trying to readjust. We've all just felt discombobulated. We kind of just feel like we're in between worlds. What we're nostalgic about for India, I don't know. I just felt connected in India. I felt at home. I liked driving in India. I never thought I'd say that. It was just, I don't know. I just felt natural there. And yeah, I haven't felt natural in a long time.
I miss the hubbub. I miss the hubbub of the city. Yeah, I miss Delhi a lot, just because you have lots of things to do and places to go and people to see.
Yeah, and I've been to cities since I got back. In America, I went to San Francisco, and it's not the city that I missed. I definitely miss the India city. I guess San Francisco just drove me nuts. I didn't like it at all.
I don't miss ridiculously hot weather, power outages, or window AC units.
Brijesh Chauhan says, I'm from India and living in the U.S. for over a decade. I would love to share my thoughts with your audience. All right, well, share some thoughts on this video or post something in the subreddit there.
Yeah.
Share some thoughts, like what, differences between India and America. What's been your experience? Any advice you have for our other guy up here, Ajay? Mm-hmm. If you got any advice for him as an Indian living in America, that'd be great. Shrini Messanani asked, where are you in the U.S.? I live in Tennessee. As Bikram Das said, we live in Panama City, Florida. Mm-hmm. So it's on the Gulf Coast of Florida. Oh, wow, we have someone here. Chetan says he lives in Clearwater, Florida. I'm willing to be a subject. Oh, that's cool. All right. Well, thank you, Chetan.
I know
follow up with an
Clearwater's
email.
Still a little bit of a
It is kind of far
for us, but
if we're ever down
awesome.
in that area,
or if you're ever in our area,
totally,
we'll look you up.
Abgu. Man, you guys look a bit sad. You guys look so happy in India. Maybe you are Indians underneath. Oh, here's a question.
Okay.
Mayur Gupta asks, one question I always had is why Thanksgiving is celebrated, and by that I mean the origin. Like for Diwali, we have a religious reason. Is there any sentiment behind it, or is it just a tradition made by American people?
The history,
supposed history,
is that the Pilgrims, they came over from Europe, and they wanted to have their way of making life and their religious freedom. So that's what brought them to America. And they had a really hard time. A lot of them died when they first got here because of disease and lack of supplies and all that. The Native Americans helped them. They had a celebration together, them and the local Indians that lived near them.
So that's the tradition. How much truth is behind it. I have not done enough research to actually.
So they had a big celebration with food and games and that. And so then at some point in time, was it Abraham Lincoln? It was some president then declared Thanksgiving a national holiday. Abundance of food.
Right.
Being thankful for what you have. That's kind of
it. Actually, Canada has a Thanksgiving Day that predates ours, apparently. So they make fun of us, saying that we just copied them. So.
Well, of course. I'm sure we did.
Sai Krishna asks, how's Rohan and Satya? So I took a job at a charter school nearby teaching violin. And so that was one of the reasons they were able to get into the school. So Satya's there at the school. Rohan's there at the school. Satya's really enjoying it. Rohan's
really
kind of enjoying it.
He is.
Okay.
He is. He just wants to play video games all the time. But no, he really does like school, and he's doing really well. And Satya loves school. She doesn't like the weekend because there's no school. Never thought that would come out of my child's mouth. But no, they're doing great.
Curry Boy says, kindly reconsider your stance on reaction videos. We're going to figure something out, all right? We'll figure something.
Reconsider. Thank you for asking so nicely.
Oh, God, so satisfied seeing you after such a long time. Namaste to Mr. and Mrs. Sue's. Keeping it creative, constructed, and cross-cultural. Thank you, Abhimanyu. Rana, thank you. Oh, did you guys like Maggi back in India?
It was fine.
Not my thing.
I would eat it because it was fast. All the kids at Satya's school in India, they all ate the other YY.
So Deepak Pai K says, difference between your life in India and the United States of America as Americans.
One big one is in India, you stood out. In America, we're just one of the faceless crowd.
Right. And yeah, I think we kind of gotten used to our slight celebrity status. Like, we could go around in Delhi and somebody would notice us. Yeah. Oh, it's the surfing violinist. Yeah. That never happens in America.
And you're like, yeah, I have a YouTube channel. People are like,
good. Like, we do take our infrastructure here for granted. Like, we're in a smaller town. I mean, our city here is probably analogous to the locality we were in terms of population, like Kalkaji and maybe a couple other surrounding ones.
Park.
Yeah, Kalkaji and CR Park and GK2 together are about the entire population of our county, probably.
But of course, here it's much
county is
more
huge
spread out.
In terms of space. Things we probably just took for granted before, traveling overseas. The infrastructure does work well. We've lost power one time, and our time being back.
And I'm thankful that I feel like my time living in Delhi made me a more flexible person. Like, oh, the power's out. Like, okay, well, it's not the end of the world. And
I mean, like, America shuts down.
And everyone's like on their phones, on Facebook, like, rah, 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 rah. And I'm like, whoa, it's okay.
But yeah, so there are things that we have taken for granted. But even being back, you just kind of like sink back into the life.
It's just like back to normal. Like, oh yeah, this is life.
There's not much walking to get to places here. You just walk to exercise. If I wanted to walk to every place, I could do it. I mean, I walked to Hoscos. I would walk to Hoscos. So
surfing violinist, he was a walker, folks.
I did.
I was an autoer.
Jace asks, plan to visit India anytime soon? No, not really. There was, I don't know if I told y'all this, but the Indian reality show, what was it called again? Dil Hai Hindustani, season 2, a talent scout asked me for an audition to sing Bollywood songs. So I did Unchi Hai Building, Lift Teri Band Hai. It was another Salman Khan would Ek Cup Chai Pila Do or something. I tried telling them, look, I'm going to be one of those guys. Just, take me on to send me home after the first week. I'll bring my violin too. And I even played something on violin for my audition, but never heard back from him. So
wah, wah, wah.
I mean, I looked at like who won, and it's, so the idea of Dil Hai Hindustani is getting foreigners who like Bollywood. When I watched excerpts of the previous season's show, they all look like Indians to me. They just look like expat Indians, like living abroad, like someone from Dubai or something like that, an Indian living in Dubai. I'm like, this really isn't Dil Hai Hindustani. This is
really
Hindustani. Like so anyway, I thought, I might have a shot just as a foreigner who loves India and Indian music.
So that he almost could have visited, but didn't get a call back, folks.
No plans in the near future. All right, well, I think that's plenty. The big request this week is to post something in the India Connection subreddit. I want to say thanks to everyone who's sat through this, and if you've got any questions, comments, video reaction requests, do post something in the India Connection this week. Until next time,
keep it creative,
keep it cross-cultural,
keep it constructive.
All right, we'll see y'all next time. Thank you.